Have you ever kissed the devil before? I have. But whenever your lips have been kindled and scorched by hell, it burns for you to try to kiss and tell. Perceptions are the ashes of deception that have tried to put out the fire of the burning bush that sheds light on my identity. So in order for agents of darkness to smoke out my masculinity because they were afraid someone would see God in it, the dead spirits of these firefighters from hell were given a smoke signal to extinguish everything I understood to be a part of my manhood, with flame-resistant mouths spraying a solution by spreading rumors like wildfire saying that I was gay. Never had same-sex sexual relations. But the thought that no woman ever thought that I was worthy of a relationship allowed my lost sense of direction to see it as a road sign that something had to be wrong somewhere, and right then and there, Satan sent me oncoming traffic of a demon in a hitchhiked up dress to come my way and flirt with me. When she introduced herself, she said that I'm every woman. And immediately I should have known that she was dressed to kill, because she used her eyeliner to make a connection with me that strung me along by the neck until I'd hung around her long enough to not notice I was being lynched. Whenever she spoke, the tip of her sharp tongue had slit the both of my wrists until they bled the same shade as her lipstick, using her stilettos as leverage to break into my cracked rib cage and spread it apart with her 2 feet every 6 inches, so it would be easier for her to steal my heart so many times that I'd be too alarmed to give it away. Because I thought that every woman would end up treating it this way. Is love supposed to hurt this much? I thought about asking the mirror on the wall, but I hated the image that would show up. It's hard to see yourself when your neighborhood holds more of the shards reflecting who you are than you do, and see you as a Frankenstein that you were never created to be. These Igors stunted my growth so that me and the idea of a happily ever after could never see eye to eye, because the height of my self-esteem couldn't measure up to one of Snow White's 7 dwarfs. And I whistled while I worked to ignore the only prince of a charming peace that I could actually look up to. Until one day, God showed me himself. And he didn't look like what I expected. Just because when I looked on his side of the glass, I found out that he saw me as his own reflection. That's what it means to be made in his image. But it wasn't until August 4, 2012, that I discovered this insight to his love was a concept that was closer than it appeared, as it rearview mirrored the full length of my broken existence. Have you ever kissed an angel before? I have. It was the day I said I do. Her name is Stacy, and when she cradled my face dressed in Snow White, this stone muscle that had been chipped out of shape after being broken in multiple places sprouted wings like a gargoyle and actually flew. I know it sounds cliche, but she made my heart soar. Clearing it to take off from the landing zones of those Louis Vuitton purses that serve the purpose of carrying it in portable tombstones so that it can rest in pieces. Piecing together the wreckage of its sores and holes with building blocks of unconditional love until I finally understood what it meant to be whole. My ears became dedicated altars at the altar, where God promised to use her as the hammer to build me up into the man he said I am when she said I do. To strip the mortar my insecurities had been insecurely built on when she said I do. As long as I promised to cherish the image of who he is for him and her to see within me, to which I said I do. So the reservoir of my tears that had been collected after 25 years gave way from behind the backs of my cracked eyelids that were once reinforced like the Hoover Dam, because there was no other way for me to show that my joy began to overflow. Or that it still does. But when you taste the goodness of heaven, after suffering third-degree burns from pits disguised as lips filled with the passionate ashes of hell. The only way to shed light in that testimony is to kiss.